Welcome to COiNTABLE. I'm Chris Tisdale. Today we're going to be doing some coin roll hunting, COiNTABLE style. As you can see, we've got some proof sets here. I was crossing my fingers for some early proof sets, 1950, 1953, 50, 51, 52, and 53. They're getting harder and harder to come by. I paid like $1,800 for this deal. I have no idea what's in here. I've never looked at these coins before. In fact, I couldn't even tell you how many of what years, because essentially the conversation went like this. Yeah, man, I'll buy any and all 1950 to 1964 proof sets you have. Just ship them to me. How do you want to get paid? In the beginning, when I was first starting out, before I had the bankroll behind me, it was very important for me to kind of have eyes on what I was buying. But as I got a little bit more of a bankroll and kind of grasped a little bit better what my goals were, what I was trying to accomplish, I just got to the point, guys, where I just started buying everything sight unseen. And to really just be honest with you, it's easier and more time efficient for me to just buy sight unseen. So in other words, if I buy one that I look at and based on looking at it, I realize, oh, I probably wouldn't have bought that, well, then I'll just sell it. I lose a little bit of money here and there when I do that, but in the end, I make a lot more than I lose. What I'm saying is if I was only out there buying the coins that I was laying my eyes on, I can't possibly lay my eyes on that many coins. And so buying sight unseen has been something that has really helped me elevate my business to the next level. I started in this business coin roll hunting, okay? I've got an origin story on YouTube. If you want to watch it, click here or click here. And you can watch my origin story. It's very, very fascinating. But to summarize, I basically found a silver quarter and a silver dime in my 1-gallon change bucket at home. This was back in, it had to have been 2009. That's when I learned that our coins had silver in them. Like, that's how much of a novice I was. I didn't even know that our coins had silver. I didn't know that there was a coin business or anything like that. So I learned that in 2009. I went and dumped out my big gallon bucket of change on the floor, made a pile as big as the whole closet, and I found one silver quarter and one silver dime. At the time, that silver quarter was worth $8, and I couldn't even believe that. I couldn't get my head around it. So then, next thought was, wow, if I went and ordered boxes of dimes and quarters and half dollars from banks, I could find silvers. So what I did is I ended up going to my credit union and I talked them into ordering me one box. That very first box where I found 24 or 25 silvers led to an addiction that I still don't fully understand or can't fully comprehend. And that addiction has led to me being a full-time coin dealer. I no longer have the time to go and buy half dollars like that and do coin roll hunting the traditional way. So what I like to do is I like to coin roll hunt COiNTABLE style. I like to, instead of buying boxes of half dollars or bank wrapped rolls, I like to buy proof sets. And I'm basically searching for cameos and deep cameos and other coins that are going to sell for a significant premium above and beyond what I just paid for said coins. Here we go. 1957, that looks like a solid cameo quarter. We'll cut it out and see. Oh yeah, I would say that that's very nice coin, cameo, for sure. Well, it's always a good sign. First set we're looking at has a cameo quarter. That half looks really clean as well. Let's just take a look at it since we're here. There it is. Not cameo, but just a really, really clean coin that's going to look really nice once we do conservation. The next set, we've got a 1958, and wow, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that 1958 is probably a solid cameo. Great start. Yep, absolutely, that's cameo. Not quite sure if the reverse has enough, but we'll find out after conservation. Next, we've got a 1959. Just a really clean set. I don't see anything there that I feel like needs to get cut out right now. The next one, guys, has got a 1960 proof set. And what I do with these is I look at them under a loop, because on the 1960 Kennedys, excuse me, on the 1960 proof sets, see if we can get a look here. I'm looking for, I'm sure you all have heard of the 1960 small date. This is a large date, but there's a few varieties there. There's also a double-dyed obverse dime, which that might, maybe not. And there's also there's a handful of double-dyed obverses, so you all can check that in your cherry picker guide, or if you get on COINFX. I mean, there's a number of ways to figure out what's what. Moving on. 1960 proof set. It's got a really good looking dime. I'm not going to cut it out right now because I don't think it's going to be a deep cam or anything like that. This lighting is super tough on my eyes. It makes it hard to look at. It makes it hard on my eyes to try and get a really good look at these coins. So hopefully I don't miss anything, but it wouldn't be the first time. Here we got a 1960 proof set. One thing I do like about these so far is that the halves are very, very clean. And so it's okay that we haven't found anything deep cameo, because as long as they're clean, that's going to be great. Here we go. And that is what I would consider to be, it's a frosty half. I don't know if it's good enough for deep cam, I don't know if it's good enough for cameo, but it's definitely frosty. It's definitely got some solid contrast. Let's take a look at it. It doesn't look deep cam to me, but let's cut it out of the cello and see what we find. I would say that's a really nice cameo. Just a nice, nice coin. Perfect. There's another one. Ooh, look at the dime up there too. The dime's got a deep cameo obverse. So you've probably heard me say before that you can't really see if it's deep cameo through the cello. And that's one of those things, I know that dealers told me that for a number of years, and I just thought, man, you're crazy. I can see it. But what I've learned since is there are sometimes you can see it. Sometimes it's as plain as day. You're looking through the cello and it's like, yep, there's a deep cam. But I can't even begin to count the number of times where if I wouldn't have cut it out of the cello, I never would have even known it was cameo. And not only was it cameo, but it pops out of the cello and all of a sudden it's like black and white deep cameo. And for whatever reason, that's happened more, for me anyways, that's happened more with 1961 proof sets than any other year. So I just don't know if it's the cello and if the cello just kind of covers up the way that the mirrors work on these coins. I don't know why. I don't know what that is. But my point is, guys, is a lot of times on these proof sets, on these 1964 and earlier proof sets, you're not going to know whether or not it's deep cam unless you cut it out of the cello and get a look at it free of cellophane, just so you know. So we're going to speed it up here so this doesn't take all day. Just really, really nice sets. If I see anything that I think might be a big time anything, I'll stop and we'll cut it out so that we can take a better look at it. Make sure on 1961 proof sets, you guys, and I'll do this off camera so that I'm not wasting your guys' time, but I'm going to look at every single one of these half dollars on the reverse. I'm looking for the DDR, the big one, baby. That is one coin that I have never found in the wild. The 1961 double-dyed reverse, king of all double dyes. I've never found it in the wild. Tell me in the comments if you have found it in the wild or if you have any crazy stories about that. That one's cameo, I would say. I'll tell you this one time, the closest I've ever come to finding a double-dyed reverse in the wild, there was a 1961 proof set the Franklin was the DDR. Like they put it on eBay that way. 1961 proof set, double dyed reverse Franklin, yada yada. And essentially what it was an auction. It was a 7 or a 10-day auction. I found that coin, I saved it. I was like, oh my, I mean the coin looked cameo. It looked like it had cameo. It looked like that through the cello in the pictures on eBay. So I saved it. I was super excited to bid. I was gonna pay up to like, I think $300 or $3,500 is what I had decided in my brain at the time. Well, the next day, the auction had ended and somebody ended up messaging the seller, got them to switch it over to a buy it now. I don't remember what they paid, but I was super disappointed in that because it was just gone. Boom, never gonna see it again. Well, a few weeks later, maybe even a couple months, I see a 1961 double-dyed reverse on Great Collections, and I am to this day, I am convinced that it is the same 1961 double-dyed reverse. It was graded, I believe, 67 cameo or 67. It may have even been a 67 ultra cam. I mean, it was crazy. But the point is, it sold for like 10 or 12,000 bucks, if I remember right, on Great Collections. So you guys, that's just an example of the kind of money that's in this business. Now, I know that a lot of you aren't. I know that there are a lot of you who can't just go out and drop $2,000 or $3,000 on an eBay purchase yet, but if you work hard and if you stick with it, you will get to that point. And I know this because that's exactly what I did. So if you're curious about that, or if that's something where if you would like to get to the point where you can just go drop $2,000 on a coin to try to make 8 or 10 grand, subscribe to this channel because I'm going to be talking a lot about strategy, specific strategy on how to do it and this, that, and the other. So make sure you subscribe if you like this type of content. If you're interested in coins, I have every intention of making this the very best coin channel on YouTube. Now, there are a lot of you guys who are, there are some really cool coin channels, so, and I don't think you would, but don't take offense to that when I say that, but that's where this is headed. I do expect to create the best coin channel on YouTube. If any of you guys have any insights for me or any questions or any thoughts about that, please tell me in the comments. I'm open to any and all suggestions, and I will just keep plugging away here. So, still looking at the 1961s. Some of these coins I'm noticing have some spots on them, but for the most part, they're super clean, which is always nice. That dime again is cameo, pushing deep cam maybe on the obverse, but not on the reverse. What I'll do too, guys, at the end of this video, so what I'll do is when we're done looking at these coins, and yeah, we're gonna cut out a few that we think are nice and this, that, and this and that, but what I'll do afterwards is I'll cut them all out, and at the end of this video, I will show you any cameos and any deep cameos that were in the cello. I don't want to do that on camera just because I don't want this to be a 30-minute video. I want this to be like a, I don't know, 15-minute video or 20 or whatever. Oops, what am I doing? Got to focus, got to stay focused. Ooh, that dime looks deep. All right, so that was 1961. It was 162. And a few 63s. That dime is deep cameo, I would say. Cent is probably cameo, it looks. That nickel's got some really good frost, at least on the obverse. Probably not so much on the reverse, but I would say that this could very likely be a cameo Kennedy. Let's cut it out and take a look. Yep. Maybe, probably, likely. Let's say that, it's pretty likely. Nothing too crazy, again, but very, very clean coins. Overall, I'm very happy with this purchase. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna turn the cameras off, I'm gonna cut all these coins out of the cello, and I'll pull any that are cameo or deep cameo or anything like that that I think you might be fascinated to see, and we'll be right back. Well guys, I went through, I cut out every single $half, and honestly, there's really nothing extraordinary. There's nothing that's all that special. I showed you a handful of the $half that were kind of frosty. That was basically the extent of it. So then I took my loop and I looked at the reverse on these 1961 Kennedy halves for the big one, you know, the double die, and didn't find any of those either, which doesn't surprise me because I've never found one out of thousands, maybe even 10,000 halves that I've looked through. So this is, I think, the second video in a row where I opened up a fair amount of stuff and didn't find anything special, and that happens. So I'm going to show you guys this anyways because I want y'all to know how realistic it is. I'm still going to send these coins off to grade. I'll probably, you know, hope for maybe 3 or 4 if I'm lucky. Proof 69s. Those are hopefully still selling for $1.50 or maybe $250 a piece, somewhere in there. And so I'll still do okay on this batch of coins, but after you factor in the amount of work involved, the time, however long it takes to get them graded, and those extra additional fees, it's not going to be anything all that special. So I'll try to stay on top of this and give you guys a follow-up, but I just wanted to wrap this up by letting you know, didn't find anything special. So again, thank you so much for watching COiNTABLE. I am very, very thankful for you guys. If you like this type of content, please subscribe because I'm going to be bringing it. 2022 is an exciting year for me. I've got exciting things planned. I'm going to bring the content. Period, end. If you notice my banner up there, it says new uploads every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I put it in writing. It's going to happen, guys. So anyways, have a great day. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. We'll see you guys next time.